This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Chris Wragge, and here's what's happening in the news at this hour. New video as police are searching for the muggers who beat a subway rider in the Allerton section of the Bronx on Monday. Investigators say the woman asked the 61-year-old man for money. When he ignored them, they say the male suspect punched him and then dragged him down the stairs. Police say the pair stole $20 from the victim. This just in, a decision that could impact what you pay for online purchases. The Supreme Court says states can force online shoppers to pay sales tax. That overturns an old ruling saying if business was shipping something to a different state that they didn't have a physical presence in, it didn't have to collect the state sale tax. And that had states complaining they were missing out on billions of dollars in revenue. The funeral for fashion designer Kate Spade will be held today in her hometown of Kansas City, Missouri. Spade committed suicide at age 55 in her Manhattan apartment 2 weeks ago. Her company, Kate Spade New York, announced plans to donate $1 million to suicide prevention and mental health causes. To start, the company is donating $250,000 to the crisis text line and will match donations to the service through June 29th up to $100,000. In Brooklyn, concerts are concerned this morning over a bevy of swans that suddenly disappeared from a lake. Now some folks are worried that they didn't just fly off on their own. CBS 2's Valerie Castro has more.
These 7 swans are no longer swimming in the lake at Prospect Park, but where they've gone is anyone's guess.
It's really heartbreaking when they disappear and we don't know why.
The group Wild for Prospect Park keeps an eye on the park's abundant wildlife and says it's hard to believe the species known as mute swans left on their own and seemingly vanished overnight in early June.
We have never seen an entire flock of swans disappear. It just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
They say there is reason to fear human hands may have intervened after a family of swans was euthanized from Oneida Lake near Syracuse by the USDA on Monday. The agency confirms 2 adults and 4 cygnets were put down, it says humanely, after a kayaker was attacked by one of the birds. It was an intentional drowning of the baby cygnets, according to this scathing letter written Wednesday by State Assemblyman Stephen Simbrowitz. In it, he accuses the DEC of using the USDA to circumvent a 2-year moratorium, which suspends the killing of the species.
The respect for that family, there was none. They could have relocated them.
The DEC says it can't speculate on the disappearance of the swans from Prospect Park and says mute swans are fully capable of flight and may have moved on to another location. In the meantime, flyers like this one have been posted all over the park in hopes that someone might have more information. But there is still hope.
If they did fly off, we hope that they're safe and enjoying the summer.
The birds are simply somewhere else. In Prospect Park, Brooklyn, Valerie Castro, CBS 2 News.
Well, investigators are trying to figure out what caused the ceiling collapse inside a Brooklyn subway station. It happened shortly before yesterday's evening rush at the Borough Hall station in downtown Brooklyn. Chunks of debris fell onto the northbound platform for the 4 and 5 trains. One person was hurt, a woman who was slightly injured by something that hit her shoulder.
We will get to the bottom of what happened. What we do know is that the plaster has come off the ceiling. In the plaster coming down and a few of the tiles that separate the sidewalk from the actual plaster, some of those have come down as well as has a light fitting. So that's all being cleaned up at the moment.
Northbound trains were temporarily bypassing the station, but normal service has since resumed. Well, the House is expected to vote today on legislation that would overhaul U.S. immigration law. It follows President Trump's decision to stop separating families caught crossing the border. Dozens of people gathered overnight at LaGuardia Airport after a flight carrying several teens accompanied by ICE agents arrived in New York City. Under the zero-tolerance policy, nearly 2,000 children have already been separated from their parents, including the 240 children being held at a facility in East Harlem.
The youngest to come here, they told us, was 9 months old. But this has been a traumatic process for a lot of these kids.
Mayor de Blasio is in one of the border towns in Texas where he'll meet with mayors from across the country all day today. Happening today, New Jersey's legislature is scheduled to vote on a new $36.5 billion budget. The Democrat-led Assembly and Senate will tackle issues such as tax rates, credits and rebates, as well as funding for social programs and affordable housing. Governor Murphy has said he will veto any budget that does not include ways to bring in more revenue to the state. But if the two sides don't agree on a balanced budget by the 30th of June, New Jersey faces a government shutdown. Heavy rain rains are causing massive flooding across western Pennsylvania. This is what it looked like in Bethel Park, where floodwaters sent cars floating away from a restaurant parking lot. Customers inside the Trolley Shop Inn had to literally stand on tables while waiting for rescuers to arrive. Police there are asking residents to seek higher ground and to stay off the roads. Well, now let's get over to John in the Weather Center with your local forecast. Johnny?
Well, you know, you see something like that, you just really count your blessings. We had over an inch of rain last night, but now we're seeing, well, brighter skies. I love this new view as we look north up the west side. Pretty in the city right now, and 72 for your 11 o'clock observation out of the park. Numbers around the area, between 70 and 75. They're actually a little lower for most of the reporting stations, but you've noticed it, haven't you? It's more humid. Dew points are up, so it's going to feel like a summer day today as summer got underway this morning. 84 this afternoon. We've got our work cut out for us, but we should see a warmer day. And as you can see, rain is clearing out of here. We'll see the sun back this afternoon. That area, low pressure, pulling off. Just a heads up, Friday, more clouds and a little cooler. And then Saturday, right now, Chris, it's at a 60% chance of rain. It's on and off. It's not on all day, but we're back to our old tricks with wet weather in the weekend. Sorry.
All right, Johnny, let's see if we can change
I'll
that.
try.
All right. On this first day of summer, many businesses are marking the occasion with some refreshing deals. Dunkin' Donuts, for instance, is offering samples of its new frozen lemonade at stores. And at Union Square in Bryant Park, Dunkin' Donuts street teams will hand out free iced coffee. At Jamba Juice, you can upsize any medium smoothie to a large for no extra charge. And at Rita's Italian Ice, regular size ices are $2 and gelatis are $3 all day today. So run, don't walk. That's your CBS 2 News Update. Thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook.